Right, what time is it? 2:18. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, so Braylon, if I can have you put your controllers down and focus on learning how to cook some healthy food. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so what we're going to do today is, as promised in the live stream, you guys are going to learn how to make ramen and pizza rolls, but with a healthy spin. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is make the pizza rolls. So I went to the store and I got a few things. So I'm super excited about this. First thing I always do is I always line my cookie sheet with foil. That makes cleanup very, very easy. Okay. You always want to spray with cooking spray because that's the worst thing, is to get all of that cooking stuck. So can you guys see that? Can you guys see that okay? Okay. All right. So what I do when I make pizza rolls is I find the biscuits in a tube, or you can make your own biscuits if you want to. It's either or. Usually I can find this with like a low-fat biscuit, but I couldn't find that. So we're going to use normal. So these are always fun to open because they pop. So we're going to go ahead and open this until it pops. And oh, it startled me. Oh, of course it didn't pop. So there we go. Okay. So after you get that popped, you just put all that down on your greased cookie sheet. And then what I do is I just squish them all out. Anybody else like pizza rolls? I was kind of trying to go for some ideas like that high school
pizza rolls are amazing. By the way, sorry about being late. I'm here now though.
Okay, good. That's okay. No worries. I don't mind that you're a little bit late. I was trying to think of stuff that like high school students like love to eat, and I instantly went to like pizza and top ramen. So that's what we're doing today. We're making pizza. We're making top ramen, but we're putting a healthy spin on it. So a lot of times when we're cooking things that are like, quote, unhealthy, it's because they don't have a lot of nutrients in them. So meaning there's not a lot of vitamins and minerals, that good for you stuff that your body tends to crave. So what we're going to do with our pizza today and our top ramen is we are actually going to make them so they are packed full of those superfoods that are super duper good for us. So of course, we're going to add some spinach. We're going to add some hummus, even some mushrooms. Oh, I see some comments in the chat. I can't really read them right now because it's super small and I have terrible eyes. So I will get to the comments in the chat in a second. So basically what we do to make these little pizza rolls is you kind of, maybe like a calzone, you kind of squish these out so they're nice and big. Okay, I'm just going to do that mini for now. I will do more probably later. Okay, so in order to make these a little healthier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add hummus. So a lot of times the protein in certain foods are very high saturated fat proteins, but if you choose to put a different type of a protein in there, it can actually make that food a lot healthier. So I have found this spinach hummus that is like my favorite. And hummus, if you don't know, is made from beans. Beans are full of protein. So I'm going to add some spinach hummus to my pizza rolls, and that's going to add some protein. And of course, we know that spinach is basically a superfood. There goes my daughter flying through the kitchen. She's cute though, so I don't care. And then I'm going to go ahead. I just had this in the fridge, so I just went ahead and grabbed it. It's just some squeezy pizza sauce, so I'm just going to squeeze a little bit in there. And then we get to add a bunch of veggies. I don't know about you guys, but I love veggie pizza. So my kids always say that I ruin it by making it veggie pizza, but whatever, it's good for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of these awesome vegetables to my pizza, which is going to make them healthy. So I'm going to put some of those in there. Whoops, that was probably too many. Let's go ahead and put some of them over here. There's a lot of students that have handed in their assignment and have baked some pretty awesome or cooked some pretty awesome things for their family, which is great. So I'm going to show those off in a second. I just want to get this stuff made for you guys to look at. So right now I'm putting spinach in my pizza rolls. Spinach, as we know, is a superfood. It's super packed with a lot of vitamins and minerals that our body craves. Right? Our body thrives off of vitamins and minerals that we get from food. So if we're not eating the food that has a lot of those vitamins and minerals in them, then our body tends to scream, I need more food, right? So if we start packing our food with lots of vitamins and minerals, then our body's not screaming at us to feed us more and more and more. So I also found some cheese, and I found the fat-free cheese. So this is a little bit healthier. So we're going to put some cheese on there, just like so. How many of you guys think this looks good? How many of you guys think it looks terrible? It's okay. You can be honest. I know that some people would look at this and think this is disgusting. There's no way I'd eat that. But you know what? I think it's amazing. I think they taste super good. And then what you do is you just fold them over and then squish them so they're in a little pouch, just like a little pizza roll that you would make out of the bag, right? So you're going to fold that over and squish it. You do want to try and make sure that you're really getting it close, because a lot of times what happens, and it happens with mine more often than not, is they actually open up and they end up going everywhere. But it's okay. I mean, it still tastes good. It's just not as pretty, but it still tastes good. I'm not super picky when it comes to like making my food pretty. I tend to not really care. I just more focus on making sure that we get a lot of those superfoods in all of our meals. My daughters, what are you doing, little girl? Flying through the kitchen. So we squish those in there. Can you see that they're turning into little pizza rolls? They tend to work a little easier when they start warming up. So I think I should have taken them out of the freezer a little bit sooner and maybe flattened them out a little bit better, but that's okay. All right. So I'm going to squish those. There we go. One thing that I did forget to do is I do like to do an egg wash on these. And when you do that, it just kind of makes the tops nice and shiny. And I'm going to grab an egg really quick to do that. Huh? Trying to make it healthy. I'm not trying to add butter. Getting helpful hints from my living room. And yeah, sometimes people spread butter on the top of there, but I'm trying to make it healthy for you guys. So I'm doing an egg wash. So that means you just take an egg and you just scramble it into a bowl like this. There's a little thing. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, well, I'll just get a spoon. So what you do is you just kind of spread some of that egg right on the top there. And it makes it so the tops cook a little better. You'll see. Makes it shiny, makes it pretty. And then I'm going to chop these with some garlic salt, which adds a little bit of flavor. Super yummy. What's fun too is I get to cook for you guys. And then this ends up being our dinner. So 2 birds with 1 stone right here. I'm teaching and I'm cooking us dinner. So that's pretty cool. What's pretty crazy is my 3-year-old. A lot of times toddlers are pretty picky. And I'm not saying she's not picky. She can be picky, but she'll eat this stuff, you know. So you raise them on this kind of stuff when you guys have kiddos in the future. And they tend to continue to eat like that. So, okay, so I went ahead and spread some egg over top of those, and then I'm going to top with some garlic salt, just some regular old garlic salt. And then I'm going to put them in the oven. Let's put it, of course I ripped it off and I forgot to check how long they cook for. It says from 11 to 14 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in a preheated oven. It's preheated up to 375 degrees for 11 minutes. And we'll see what they look like after they're done. Alexa, set timer for 11 minutes. Okay.
11 minutes. Starting now.
Any questions so far about the pizza rolls? They look kind of good. They are kind of good. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do now is move you guys over here to the stove. Let's see if I can. I haven't cooked over the stove yet, so hopefully you guys can see fairly well. Here we go. How's that look? Can we kind of see everything? Okay, so what we're going to do now is I am going to make some top ramen. So I know high schoolers tend to love top ramen. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some top ramen and make it a little healthier. So the first thing we want to do is saute some vegetables in our pot. I'm going to use some olive oil. Anytime you're sauteing in olive oil rather than butter, you're making your recipe a little healthier. So that's good. The first thing I want to saute, I did cut up my vegetables and stuff already. So, okay. Try to get these over here without dumping them. So I cut up my veggies already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to saute the onions in there. I'm going to saute those mushrooms, so get as much of those in there as possible. And then I'm going to saute my carrots. So I'm going to save my green onion and my spinach for a little bit later. And I also have zucchini to make zoodles, if anybody knows what zoodles are. It's basically noodles made out of zucchini. So I'm going to stir that around in olive oil, wait for that to heat up a little bit. Anybody getting hungry yet? Okay, so this does call for garlic. So, I mean, obviously you can like cut up your own fresh garlic, which is great. I was just going for something quick, so I grabbed the squeezy garlic that was out of the fridge. So I'm just gonna squeeze some in there. I'm not really big on measuring a whole lot when it comes to cooking. So I just squeeze some in there. All right, so we're gonna wait for that to warm up and saute a little bit. All right, so while that's warming and cooking, what I want to do is I want to look at the chat, see if there's any questions. Braylon, your comments are confusing me. Sorry you're late. Oh, no worries at all. I'm just glad you're here. We're doing some cooking, making some cooking a little healthier for everybody. So, okay. So while that is cooking behind me, I am going to show my screen here for a second because I want to make sure everybody is understanding the assignment for the week. So I'm going to go ahead and show my screen. All right, I hear that sizzling back there, so that's good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show my screen. So if you log on to Google Classroom and you go to classwork, the assignment that you guys are working on today is called Healthy Meal Options. Excuse me, I'm going to burp. So for this week, what you guys are going to do is students will be able to use the myplate.gov website to research and list different healthy meal options. Students will have the option to pick a healthy meal from the myplate.gov website. to prepare for their family. So this is the assignment right here. So if you click on this, this is kind of the expectation of what you guys are going to hand in this week. And hopefully it's something that can be kind of enjoyable for you guys, looking at different healthy options. So this is going to take forever to load. Oh, there it is. So it's improving your physical health one meal at a time. For our final project in the unit, in the nutrition unit, I would like you to get your family involved and actually prepare a healthy meal for your family to enjoy. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to log on to this myplate.gov, which is this website here. And once you get to this home screen, you're going to actually scroll all the way down to where it says recipes, and you're going to click on recipes. I mean, this website is huge. Honestly, there is a ton of resources. So if you wanted to click around and look and see what's in this website, I mean, there's a lot of information and it's really great. So once you get to this page, you can scroll down and there's different options here. You can look up recipes, you can look at cookbooks, recipe videos, recipe resources. But I think the easiest is right here. If you just click on the recipes right here, and it lists, I'm going to say thousands of different recipes. And all the recipes that are in this website are recipes that are relatively healthy. And when I say healthy, what that means is like a food that's like low in saturated fat, low in sugar, but it also has lots of vegetables as far as vegetables and fruits, because we know that those are packed with those awesome nutrients that our body needs. So as we scroll down here, I mean, you can scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and just find tons and tons of healthy options. Or you can click over here, which is kind of cool. So if you wanted to look up something for breakfast or something that had a lot of dairy in it, you can like click on any of these resources over here and they will help you out with that. So if you scroll down here a little further in your assignment, so for this section right here, I actually gave you an example to go off of. So what I'm wanting you to do for this assignment is you're actually going to use that website to look up 3 different breakfast options that are healthy, 3 lunch options that are healthy that you would probably enjoy, 3 dinner options, and then 3 snack options. And then you're going to link those in. So like I put right here, this is the Rise and Shine cobbler, and this was actually the cobbler that I made for you guys on Tuesday. You can click right on there, and it'll take you straight to that recipe. And then over here, explain in detail how each recipe is healthy for your body. So I talked about how that Rise and Shine cobbler is good for my body. It's got a lot of iron and calcium and vitamin D, so on and so on. And just like not a lot of added sugar, not a lot of sodium, stuff like that. Okay. So you go through there and you give some options as far as meals. And then right here is your challenge, which some students have been accepting this challenge, which is great. So I want you to actually prepare one of these meals for your family and enjoy. So if you choose to accept my challenge, you're going to post a picture of your meal right here. You're going to tell me what the meal was, if you liked it, and then what's maybe something different you would do next time. Okay. So I hear my food in the background sizzling. So we'll go ahead and finish that up real quick. So walking back over here. Let's see what this looks like. It smells good. Okay. Let's go ahead and stir this up. So I got my carrots, my onions, and my mushrooms kind of sauteing right there in my pot. I'm gonna let that saute just a little bit longer. This recipe does call for chicken broth. I didn't have chicken broth, so what I'm actually going to do is I am going to use the packets from the Top Ramen. So if you have chicken broth, I would suggest using chicken broth. If you don't, you can actually use the packets from Top Ramen. But, you know, those are high in sodium, so if you're wanting to do a lower sodium meal, maybe skip the packet. All right, I think that's pretty good. It says kind of saute until they're tender. And to me, that looks pretty tender. What I want to do now is show you how to use I call this thing a zoodler. I don't think that's the actual term for it, but it basically turns zucchini into noodles. So let me see if I can. So what you do is you put your zucchini in there. This is a little thing that pokes into that, and you just twist. I don't know if you can see that, but it's actually making some zucchini noodles that I'm putting into my top ramen. We use zoodles a lot for like spaghetti. We like to add them to our noodles. We just keep spinning. Whoops. All right, so I think that's as far as that one's gonna go.
Not gonna lie, but that looks good.
Right? Doesn't it look good? And look at my zucchini. That looks kind of funny. I'm gonna add just one more thing of zucchini in there. Zucchini is one thing that I grow in my garden. I love to have a garden, but I'm not a very good gardener. So not a lot of stuff like survives, but zucchini tends to survive, which is good. Okay, I'll put this off to the side. All right, so I'm going to mix that up, kind of saute the zucchini into there. I didn't put the zucchini in there originally because zucchini tends to cook really quickly, and I really didn't want it to be mushy. So I'm going to check on our pizza rolls. They smell good. Okay, so now what it calls for is it calls for 6 cups of chicken broth, but I don't have chicken broth, so I'm just doing water. And I'm going to turn that up because I want it to boil. Alexa, off. Okay. So it needs to actually come to a boil. So we're going to wait a little bit. So as we're waiting for that to come to a boil, what I want to do is I want to show off some of the recipes that students have been handing in that look fabulous. Okay. So I'm going to present my screen again. And I know that my alarm went off for those pizza rolls, but they didn't look quite done. So, let me look. Alexa, set timer for 1 minute. 1 more minute.
1 minute, starting now.
Okay, so I am sharing my screen. So what I wanted to show off was some work that students have done. I put mine in here as well. So this is actually linked into that Google Classroom doc, so you can access this. So this is the Rise and Shine cobbler that I made for you guys on Tuesday. It was actually really good. My middle son loved it. These were the egg muffins. These are great because you can just put them in the fridge and just kind of munch on them throughout the week. So they're very easy. You pop them in the microwave for 20 seconds and they're super good. So this is the healthy ramen that I'm cooking right now. Here's the link for it, and I'll put the picture in it in a little bit. And then the veggie rolls, I'll put the picture in there. But here's some stuff that some students have made, which looks so yummy. So this is a spinach strawberry salad. Something that they would do a little bit differently next time was maybe add more cheese, but that looks really, really yummy. And strawberries are a superfood, and spinach is a superfood. Alexa, off. So honestly, that salad right there is nothing but healthy. This person made a fruit yogurt pop, and they were good. So they said one thing they would do differently next time is they would make more of them. So that looks awesome too. I was actually looking at the recipe, and that looks like a really yummy thing. So, and these were Peter pumpkin squares. It was very nice. My family liked it. I recommend it. So those look absolutely awesome. And that is something that I have put on my list that I am going to make this weekend because it sounds like kind of a fall, like Halloween thing to do. So I'm going to try and make those over the weekend. So hopefully that has motivated you to try some new recipes. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take my pizza rolls out and see what they look like. What I forgot to do was set up my little cooling thing. So I have a little cooling rack here just because we don't want to like ruin our counters. Anytime you get anything out of the oven, you always use your oven mitts. You want to use both of them, okay? I made the mistake one time of only putting one on, and I accidentally dropped the thing I was holding, and I grabbed it with the other hand and burned myself really bad. Oh, that smells yummy. All right, so that's what our pizza rolls look like. If you can see that. Let's see if we can these down a little bit. So they look yummy. And as always, make sure that you turn off your stove, turn off your oven. That's the last thing I would ever want to happen is for you guys to burn your house down. That would be terrible. So let me turn these around because
Yeah, that would be terrible.
what?
I said that would be terrible.
Right, yeah. Okay. So don't burn your house. I wanted to turn these around so I could show you. They kind of opened up a little bit. But honestly, those look really yummy. Hopefully you guys are inspired to make some veggie pizzas in the future. So I'll set those off to the side. Those are dinner for us tonight. So yummy, yummy. All right, let's go back to our top ramen. Let's see how that's cooking over here. It hasn't quite come to a boil yet, but it's getting there. It honestly smells super good. Okay. So for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and put the noodles and stuff in there, even though it's not quite boiling yet. So it called for 2 packages of noodles. There's one. Here's the other one. Top ramen is one thing that I don't buy often at all. So when my son came home yesterday, he was like, "You bought top ramen?" Very surprised. Okay. So I am going to use the seasoning packets just because I don't have that chicken broth for a flavor. It does call for soy sauce too. You know what? How about I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna just do one of the packets and then I'm gonna do soy sauce. So that's what I'm gonna do. See if I can find the soy sauce. All right, so I actually buy the low sodium soy sauce. I don't know if you've ever looked at a label for soy sauce, but there is a ton of sodium. But if you buy the low sodium, there's absolutely no difference like in flavor. So I'm gonna add some soy sauce to this. See how that turns out. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've never made this before, so this is gonna be something new for me and my family. Hopefully it turns out yummy. We shall see. If it's disgusting, I will let you guys know. But it smells good, so I'm excited. All right, and then you just kind of let that cook until it looks done. And then what I have over here is my spinach. I like to put spinach in like everything I cook because spinach is so good for us in every single way. So there's not a ton of flavor to spinach, so it's like one of those foods that you can eat and it's so good for you, but it doesn't like ruin the taste of your food. So all right, so there's that. We're just going to let that cook a little bit longer and then that'll be done. Last thing I'm going to do is sprinkle my green onion on the top. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. That smells good. It looks good. That is my healthy version of top ramen. All right, let's come back over here. So I made you guys pizza rolls. I made you guys healthy top ramen. Does anybody have any questions about anything? So you're hungry now. Hopefully you're hungry for something good for you.
Hey, yo, but how does it taste though?
Oh, well, it's too hot. It's too hot to eat. I don't like to burn my mouth. So you know what? I will post a picture and I will let you know if it tastes yummy or not. How about that?
Okay. All right. I got to shower. I'm going with my friend.
All right.
I'm gonna wait until like we dismiss those. Yeah.
I can't hear you.
I said I'm gonna wait till we dismiss though because I don't want to be late. I don't want to be make trouble.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Okay, guys.
Yeah, me and Nate both going.
All right. Hopefully this made you hungry. Hopefully this made you motivated to maybe add some superfood, to add for you some good for you foods to the foods that you already love. And hopefully you go forth and bake for your family. Does anybody have any questions about the assignment?